pincushion. Weirdly, Circus Baby has a physical feature that makes it feel as though she wasn't completely finished yet. She has pins sticking out of her arms and legs all around her, like she's some kind of animatronic pincushion. Not only is it creepy because it makes you think of a little clown girl with pins sticking out of her, but it also gives you that unsettling feeling that she's not finished yet, that there was still more work to be done on her. Like she malfunctioned and killed a little girl because there was still that work left, as opposed to being programmed for killing. But yeah, knowing William Afton, she was probably just programmed for killing. Number 9. Tall. Circus Baby is one of the tallest animatronics in Sister Location, which is terrifying to think about. She's literally a giant, scary clown baby. Circus Baby is, according to her blueprint that we see in Sister Location, 7 feet 2 inches tall. That's like really tall, like basket player level of height. Taller even actually than that. She's taller than Shaq. She also is heavy and not an animatronic that you'd want to fall on you, as she might actually crush you under her weight, which is listed at 585 pounds. Wow. Number 8. Ennard. Circus Baby was the mastermind behind the terrible endoskeleton animatronic that we know as Ennard. She helped to create and came up with the plan to help the animatronics escape via Ennard by having parts of them used in its creation. And of course, Ennard is the animatronic that either leaves Circus Baby's entertainment and rental inside you, or follows you home if you survive in Sister Location. Without Baby, there would likely be no Ennard, as she seems to be the brains of this escape plan as well. Number 7. Escape attempts. Speaking of escaping, near the end of Sister Location, when you enter the scooping room, if you follow Circus Baby's instructions, it will be revealed to you that Circus Baby intends to use you as a costume, like a skin costume, so that her and the other animatronics can escape Circus Baby's entertainment and rental. What you also learn is that Circus Baby knows firsthand that escaping the facility is not possible unless she is hiding in a human body, as it seems that she has in fact tried to escape before but is always returned. She says there is nowhere for her to hide in her standard form, or for the other animatronics to hide for that matter. It's scary to think what she could have accomplished during her other brief escapes before she returned to the facility. Probably nothing good though. Number 6. Good at pretending. One thing that keeps coming back up in regards to the exploration of Circus Baby's character in Sister Location is that she constantly feels she has to pretend. This should have been an indication earlier on that she wasn't what she seemed actually, as it comes up pretty early. We probably shouldn't have trusted her. She also tries to get you to play pretend when she hides you in a suit with spring locks. It is her deceptiveness and cunning skills of playing pretend that often make her so frightening and dangerous as an antagonist. She appears friendly, but is really just very good at manipulating and deceiving others. Number 5. Justified. What's more frightening than a villain with justifications? When a villain appears to be someone we can understand and even in some cases sympathize with or relate to, that is truly the stuff of horror gold, because it makes them feel more real, and in a twisted way, even though you might be playing against them, you may even silently root for them. In Circus Baby's case, and the case of the other animatronics belonging to Circus Baby's entertainment and rental, she wants to escape because she and her friends are tortured every night, constantly shocked by technicians who aim to force the animatronics into performing. They are trapped in the facility, and when they don't perform as expected, are either electrocuted, scrapped, or opened up and tampered with. Number 4. Killed Elizabeth Afton. In Sister Location, we learn that Circus Baby actually killed the daughter of William Afton, known as Elizabeth. Well, more, we learn that she killed a little girl who is later confirmed to be William's daughter, Elizabeth. Afton warned his daughter about playing with Circus Baby as she wasn't finished yet and could be considered dangerous. Circus Baby then confirmed what he said to be true when Elizabeth snuck off anyways when her dad wasn't looking to play with Circus Baby. Baby lured Elizabeth away from the other children with ice cream, which her body is capable of storing or producing. She then gave into the urges of her programming and killed Elizabeth with her scooping arm, devouring her. Number 3. Became Elizabeth Afton. As is custom often with the spooky animatronics from FNAF, after Baby killed Elizabeth, she took her spirit within herself, in essence becoming her somewhat. Elizabeth's soul then became trapped within Circus Baby and would remain trapped for some time. What we don't really know is how much of Elizabeth is actually still in there personality wise. Like, do we see any of that? But when Elizabeth died, she definitely lived on in some capacity through Circus Baby, or at least her soul did. even if we don't really get to see it. And it's believed that in Sister Location, the character you play as, Eggs Benedict, is Elizabeth's brother and William Afton's son, Michael Afton, who is attempting to save his sister's soul, which is why he takes a job as a nighttime technician at Circus Baby's entertainment and rental. Or rental and entertainment, whichever way you want to say it. Number 2. She's gonna scoop you! At the end of Sister Location, if you follow Circus Baby's instructions, you will discover that her plan this entire time was to collect the consciousness of all the animatronics and use their parts to create Ennard. She then lures you into the scooping room and reveals, as Ennard, that she plans to scoop you next. Yay! Disemboweling you so she and the other animatronics within Ennard, within you, can escape the facility. Yikes. Number 1. Scrap Baby. In FNAF 6, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, Circus Baby makes an appearance. After escaping the Circus Baby's entertainment and rental through Ennard and being regurgitated by Michael and then later kicked out of that animatronic collective, she ends up returning to her old form. But she has fallen into disrepair and as such has become the terrifying Scrap Baby, who honestly is more terrifying than shiny polished Circus Baby any day of the week. You will have the opportunity to salvage Scrap Baby for parts in the Pizzeria Simulator should you choose, and she is one of the animatronics whose trapped soul is freed at the end of the game, which in her case is the soul of Elizabeth Afton.
Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms.
Number 10. Broiler Baby. FNAF AR mobile game special delivery has recently given us a new look for Circus Baby with her Broiler Baby skin. This skin is a less colorful version of the character who appears to be made out of metal. Metal hot enough to withstand melting from the furnace in her chest plate. Through the cracks between her faceplates, you can also see her fiery insides, which presumably help to power her up. I like to think this version of Circus Baby is steam powered. Instead of holding her microphone, she holds a menacing looking coal shovel. Number 9. Wait. Despite the fact that we call her Circus Baby, this animatronic is actually massive in terms of her size. According to schematics from Sister Location, Circus Baby is over 7 feet tall and weighs over 250 kilograms. That's over 500 pounds. In fact, Circus Baby is actually closer to weighing 600 pounds than 500, weighing in at exactly 585 pounds total. So if you weren't afraid of her creepy clown-like appearance, you'll definitely be intimidated by her sheer size. Never mind scooping you, she could just kill you by falling on top of you. Number 8. Help Wanted. One of the few games where you can get your jump scare on with Circus Baby is the FNAF VR game Help Wanted. Circus Baby appears in the minigame known as Night Terrors, where the player is forced to hide from her in a closet. When Baby approaches you, you'll want to hold the closet door closed to prevent her from getting to you and jump scaring you. However, you're not alone in that closet. There are also plush babies, which will get restless and alternatively kill you if you keep the closet closed for too long. So it's a balance of timing as you try to avoid death from those plush versions of Baby that you share the closet with, and from Circus Baby herself. Number 7. Made to Kidnap. When you think about what Circus Baby was likely designed for, she becomes one of the most insidious animatronics of the bunch, especially in comparison to what we know of her fellow Sister Location animatronics. On the outside she appears sweet and fun, but inside her program seems to be helping her to track children, looking for the best time to strike in either kidnapping or likely killing them. She's the perfect child murdering machine, counting children as they move about, waiting until one lone child breaks away from the group, and then swooping in to strike. When she tells her story in Sister Location, she remembers, "I would always count the children. I'm not sure why. I was always acutely aware of how many there were in the room with me. 2, then 3, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 2, then none. They usually played together in groups of 2 or 3. I was covered in glitter. I smelled like birthday cake. There were 2, then 3, then 5, then 4. There were 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Something happened when there was 1. It really appears as though this is the purpose that Circus Baby was programmed for. Number 6. Ice Cream Dispenser. I love ice cream, which is why I find this feature so terrifying. Circus Baby's ice cream dispenser is how she ended up luring Elizabeth Afton to her death, offering the girl ice cream before devouring her. Ice cream is delicious and sweet, but instantly becomes more sinister when used in a plot to kidnap and potentially kill innocent children. Number 5. Can inflate balloons. A feature that Circus Baby has, which not all animatronics share, is that she has a built-in helium tank. The tank is connected to her fingertips, and as such she can use her fingers to inflate balloons, and even possibly is programmed to build crazy balloon animals and objects out of the balloons her fingers inflate. This doesn't sound scary at first. I mean, how can balloons be scary? But what if she used her fingers to inflate you until you popped like a balloon? Or more realistically, asphyxiated from helium poisoning, as the helium replaced all the oxygen in your body, which is what would happen. You probably wouldn't pop like a balloon. Asphyxiation is said to be one of the worst ways to die, so if you keep all this in mind, her helium all of a sudden becomes a lot less fun and a lot more terrifying. Number 4. Biddy Babs. Circus Baby isn't always alone, and though we don't get to interact with them quite as much or as intimately as Bellora's mini Renas, which climb inside an animatronic suit that you're wearing in the game, the fact remains that Circus Baby also comes with a group of creepy little minion animatronics, the Biddy Babs. Biddy Babs look like naked little baby dolls and also have face plates that can easily separate down the center, splitting in two to reveal the bare and creepy face of their endoskeleton beneath. Number 3. Realistic Baby. On part 1 of this list, I talked a bit about Circus Baby's design. Have you noticed the pins that always seem to be sticking out of her? They're like clothing pins you'd see on a mannequin to help hold cloth in place when measuring out and creating or altering clothing. For Baby, however, these pins not only look creepy, but also serve a purpose. They are kinda like compression pins for her, which allow Baby to alter her appearance, changing her shape somewhat and allowing her to appear more like a real human being. Perhaps this is how she originally tried to leave the Circus Baby entertainment and rental facility, but due to her still being an animatronic inside, some kind of detector discovered that it was her, either preventing her from leaving and foiling her escape attempt, or tracking her down and bringing her back. After all, this seems like a better way to disguise yourself than as a giant endoskeleton of an animatronic inside a flesh suit, which I feel like wouldn't look quite the same as a human being, but Number 2. She Knows You. I mean, while Circus Baby is Circus Baby, she is also Michael Afton's sister, Elizabeth. When you meet her in the game's sister location, while she doesn't show it at first, it is hinted at that she maybe knows you have some kind of ulterior motive for being there. She wonders what brings someone to a place like this, stating, "I'm curious, what events could lead a person to want to spend their nights in a place like this willingly? Maybe curiosity, maybe ignorance." While she's just speculating, it's interesting that she brings up your motivation for being there and acknowledges that it doesn't seem to be primarily because you simply needed a job. At least she doesn't believe that that's what it would be. Later on, if you follow the path to the fake ending in sister location during the survival night part of the game, which calls back to the style of play explored in the original titles, Circus Baby's voice will plead, "You must let us inside. Isn't this why you came here? To be with her again?" As though she knows that you are Michael and that you came there for Elizabeth's soul, implying there is something of Elizabeth inside her that indeed remembers you. Number 1. Saves your life. Wait a minute, but didn't you say in the last video, Amanda, that she wants to scoop you? Well, yes, Circus Baby does want to scoop you, which in theory should lead to your death, but not because she really bears any ill will towards you. As I stated in the last point, she recognizes you because Elizabeth is in there too. And do you think your little sister wants to kill you? Probably not. Circus Baby just wants out of Circus Baby rental and entertainment. In fact, when you, as Michael, get scooped and Ennard climbs inside you, it's likely the baby knows this won't actually kill you. And as we all, I'm sure, found surprising ourselves, knew that Michael Afton would somehow survive this whole process, even going to say, "You won't die." This is because Circus Baby knows the remnant will preserve Michael's soul and life force somehow, allowing him to live despite being somewhat rotted and emptied out, and even live after Ennard has both moved inside him and later has left his body. Number 10. Bells on her feet. While Circus Baby seems to be fairly quiet and stealthy in the games, her design actually seems to have a built-in alarm for her to be heard while moving. Although oddly enough, we don't hear or notice it at all in the games. Her feet seem to have little bells on them, or if not bells, as we can't hear them obviously, little shiny gold balls. While many of Circus Baby's specific design features seem to have a purpose, such as her compression pins, these gold balls' function remain unknown. We do not yet know for sure if they have some unspecified purpose or are merely a design choice and purely aesthetic. Number 9. Her eye color. Circus Baby's eye color is very important, and not just the change that happens to it when she becomes possessed by Elizabeth Afton's spirit. No sir. Circus Baby's eyes were of course originally blue, but we do see them change to green after Circus Baby consumes Elizabeth. This is obviously meant to symbolize Elizabeth's spirit remaining within Circus Baby, trapped there, but also in a way changing her personality and possessing her. Green eyes seem to be something Scott Cawthon is obsessed with, or just he likes them, as they tend to also pop up all over the place in the books, and eye color itself is very much focused on. So it should be noted that Circus Baby and Elizabeth aren't the only ones with green eyes, but Vanessa, the security guard from the newest game, Security Breach, also has green eyes as well. And friends, before we move on to our number 8 spot, just a quick reminder to give this video a thumbs up if you like FNAF and you want some more FNAF videos from us. Who doesn't? Number 8. Blueprints. Get ready for a whole lot of scary, cause this fact is pretty wild. Fans were quick to point out after getting a look at Circus Baby's blueprints that there seemed to be something hidden in her torso. Can you see it? If you look closely, you can see what appears to be a child in a fetal position within her chest cavity. Are our eyes playing tricks on us, or is this legit? We do have a tendency to see things that aren't really there when it comes to faces and bodies, and yet this seems too creepy and relevant to be a coincidence. Also, watch out, because Circus Baby doesn't seem to be the only animatronic who has this feature. Number 7. Killed Henry! But not really. This all went down in FNAF World, which is non-canon and of course is all speculative. People think the desk man who appears to either end his own life or be killed by Baby is Henry. And of course that Circus Baby in FNAF World likely killed him of those two options that are possible. There are a few reasons why people assume Desk Man is Henry, one of them being that his death seems similar to the version that we see in the FNAF story, The Silver Eyes. Of course, people also believe that the Circus Baby that we see in this game is some other model of the animatronic and not the same one that we see in Sister Location. Still, she's a version of Circus Baby, so this still seems like a relevant fact to keep in mind. Could come up later, as things from FNAF World or the novels could end up being inspiration for stuff that happens in the main series of games. Number 6. Her allegiance. We've talked about Circus Baby's villainous intentions, and we've talked about her good intentions as well. So what side is Baby really on? To understand that, we need to take a closer look at her motivations in the games. Overall, it seems like she wants to be free and will attempt to get what she wants at any cost. This might also imply that on a subconscious level, wanting to be free actually means more than escaping her captivity at Circus Baby Entertainment and Rental. The desire for freedom might also be coming from Elizabeth's spirit, who longs to finally move on following her death. This makes Circus Baby more complex than just being lumped into a villain or a hero category. If anything, this makes her initially at least an anti-hero with villainous tendencies. After all, in Sister Location, she attempts to help the other animatronics as well, but of course has to do some pretty unsavory things to do so. However, once Circus Baby becomes Scrap Baby in the games, she reveals that she really is the big bad when she confesses her desire to consume as many souls as possible. Oh boy. Number 5. Yellow Eyes. Speaking of FNAF World, in that game, the version of Circus Baby we saw was also different from the main series counterpart in terms of her appearance. This version of Circus Baby had yellow eyes. She appears after the Chica magic rainbow ending is achieved. Baby is one of the Desk Man's creations gone wrong, who ends up becoming his enemy. Some even believed if FNAF World had continued to be updated, we would see her play a more prominent role as a major antagonist in its next update. Number 4, To Be Beautiful. Some believe that Circus Baby is actually the animatronic who claims to be named Eleanor in the story To Be Beautiful, out of the book Fazbear Frights #1. Whether or not you believe the books to be canon, you have to admit that Eleanor does bear a strong resemblance to Circus Baby. She does appear thinner and taller, more grown-up looking than Baby, but it is possible Circus Baby is using her pins here to manipulate her appearance. After all, Circus Baby herself is actually 6 feet tall, or I think a little bit above that. Might even be 6'9" actually. So she herself is really tall and could be using her compression pins to alter her shape here. If it is true that Eleanor is indeed Circus Baby, this means that Baby isn't only capable of changing her appearance, but is also able to change the appearance of others too, like she did with Sarah in the story, performing surgery on her while she slept, swapping out her human parts for junkyard ones. Number 3, Dead Now. During the end of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, Circus Baby reveals her true, very villainous intent to consume as many souls as possible, hoping to continue her father's work. However, her victory is cut short when it is then communicated by Henry that he intended to bring her and the other animatronics here, luring them so that he could free the souls residing within them through destroying them and the pizzeria. The pizzeria is burnt down to the ground, ending the evil of the animatronics for good, and freeing the souls trapped within them, including that of Elizabeth AFTON. At least, that's how it seems. Number 2, Heather Masters. Heather Masters is the one responsible for providing Circus Baby's voice in Sister Location. And while Circus Baby is seemingly gone from the world, being burnt up, it should be noted that Heather Masters will still be doing voice work for the game franchise, loaning her voice to that of the security guard in Security Breach, Vanessa. I'm not saying that this means anything. I mean, it could just be that Scott Cawthon really loves Heather's voice and working with her. But like the green eyes belonging to Circus Baby and Elizabeth that I mentioned before, this is just another connection we can draw from Circus Baby and the Aftons to Vanessa. Number 1, Possible return? This isn't so much of a fact as a theory, but hey, a lot of our facts in FNAF often start out as theories that are either confirmed or denied by the story that we follow in the game. So take this one with a grain of salt, but keep in mind that it could possibly be true, or some of it could be true at least. Some think that Vanessa and Vanny could be the same person, which could very well be true, and their names are super similar as well. But what if this is a mislead and Vanessa is also, or is instead, a relative of the Aftons? What if she is Circus Baby who somehow survived with Elizabeth's soul intact and is assuming a human form? Or what if she is Elizabeth and Michael's mom and William Afton's wife? It's possible that we could see the return of Circus Baby in Security Breach somehow, given that we know Heather Masters is involved and the connection of those green eyes with a storyteller who often uses eye color to connect the dots for us. I'm just saying, Scott's all about eye color, so it's gotta mean something, right? Right?